So my name is David Gungor, and I live in New York City with my wife Kate and our 4 lovely children. I work at Trinity Grace Church in Manhattan. I work in the Tribeca Parish, and I have a band called The Brilliant. I think oftentimes what happens is music is an art that speaks a language that should bring you to a place of hopefully inspiring beauty, awe, or wonder. That will either bring you to a place of trauma where you're like, that's not as it should be, or wow, this is so a grandeur thought that brings you to a place of going, I'm in awe and love, right? And that can happen in any context with any type of music, Protestant, sacramental, Christian, not Christian. You can listen to any music and be in a place of awe and wonder and beauty. And so for musically speaking, how do we have songs that are actually gospel songs, that actually reflect the theology of Jesus and not the theology of like comfort a man is living inside of your heart? When you talk about the Protestant imagination, oftentimes it's built on truths. So for instance, Protestants said, church, you're living the wrong way. Here's what we hold as the truth. This is the right way, which is good. I'm a Protestant. But in doing so, oftentimes it takes the mystery out of things. So like we have to explain everything. So even when you're talking about something like, what do you believe? Is it this or is it this? It's either ors all the time. And within the sacramental imagination, it's all based on mystery. A lot more about what you don't know. We know that God is not this. However, to describe what God is, only God can do. And so there's a certain posture of openness and humility. As an artist, you have to have fresh language and things that are not predictable and inspire and are going, oh, that's interesting. I never thought of it that way. So inspiring the imagination. So on one end, as a pastor, you have to speak, I would say, prophetically. And one of the toolkits that you have for speaking prophetically are the arts. And that is going to challenge people in a way that's like, when they hear a certain message, if you're just preaching it in black and white, it might really mess with them. But if there's space in there for mystery and art, then the beauty kind of softens the message of them being able to hear it. So be able to speak prophetically on one hand, and on the other hand, be able to pastor it and shepherd to where they're actually like, even if there's not fully getting it yet, there's space for them to not fully get it. And loving in the midst of where they are, seeing their wounds. So if they've got vitriol coming out about, why are you saying this? You see their pain and are able to see them and hear them. So for our context of liturgy, we're constantly trying to say, here's a faith that's handed down to us. It's not one that we make up. But then how do we keep it fresh? How do we give language to it? That it's the same practice, but perhaps new language. Sometimes the best way for people to get the concept is to first go inspire them with beauty to get the concept and then get out of the way. And so that's the balancing act of a worship pastor, of going, how do I use the arts and creativity and these things to get them to a place of wonder? And then how do I get out of the way to where they can actually take part in the story and own it themselves?